So Andrew and I decided to do first automotive works for our Global Perspectives final project. So FAW's history: in 1953, the company started, and it was a Chinese originating automobile company. It is state-owned, and it started with a 5-year plan, and its headquarters are in Changshuan, Jilin, China.
For a little bit more about the FAW's history, the first model ever made was a 4-ton Jiefang CA-10. The company started solely producing commercial trucks, but in 1958 they started producing passenger cars. They began as a domestic firm but quickly entered the foreign market and gained assistance from the Soviet Union. So FAW received assistance from the Soviet Union and Russia. Russia provided technical support, tools, machinery for production. FAW now has many dealers and branches, including China, Algeria, Chile, Cameroon, DPR, Korea, Ethiopia, Egypt, Germany, Indonesia, Japan, Jordan, Kazakhstan, and Kenya.
To continue on with the branches and dealers, they are also involved with Kuwait, Myanmar, Outer Mongolia, Pakistan, Qatar, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Syria, Tanzania, Turkey, United Arab Emirates, Ukraine, Uruguay, United States, and Vietnam. So we do have a video showing a car show involving FAW in Pakistan.
My name is Lala Afridi. I am the Chief Executive Officer of Alhaj FAW Motors. Alhaj FAW Motors is a local assemblers of FAW automobiles. FAW Automobiles is the biggest automobile group of China, and we started this joint venture with FAW by producing heavy-duty trucks ranging from 420 horsepower to 120 horsepower. And last year we started assembling 1000cc minivan and pickup, 7-seater van, and a 1-ton pickup. The vehicle that we have introduced in the local market have latest technology. For example, the engines are Euro 2, diesel engines are Euro 2 technology, and the petrol engine are Euro 4 technology. Other than the shapes and the designs of the vehicles that we have introduced are according to the current market scenario in the whole world. And we are participating in this FAW show, which is the only auto show in Pakistan. So we wanted to get as many benefit as possible from this auto show. Until now, we're getting very good response from the customers.
So to speak a little bit about FAW's operations, Volkswagen was their first partnership, first of many. In September of 2002, Volkswagen owned about 50% of the company. The joint venture partnership with Toyota and General Motors soon followed. FAW's strategy. FAW currently has held a 50-year leading position in the market in the auto industry. International business partnerships, they have quite a few. 90% of their profits made are from foreign partner brands. They've been able to do this through smart business decisions and have made a great deal of profit without designing their own passenger car and instead using passenger cars designed by their foreign partners. Foreign direct investment strategy has been utilized by FAW. Allocating employees to work internationally provides expansion and business growth. Foreign direct investment is internationalization business strategy in which firm establishes a physical presence abroad or in another country. Foreign direct investment strategy continued. Firms establish foreign direct investment through equipment, technology, labor, and land. As the Chinese economy grew, the demand for automobiles grew proportionately. China's technology didn't meet the demand, so FAW partnered with foreign firms through foreign domestic market and gained technology needed to mass produce the automobiles in order to meet the demand. As far as FAW's success, customized offerings has been a success. Unique emerging markets, they were able to recognize that and fill the customers' needs. China's growing economy has helped with profits as well. Consumer demand for the product and foreign domestic partnerships. FAW's ability to change has been great. Rapidly changing business strategy has helped keep them in the leading 50 companies. Partnership with foreign companies, advanced technology, larger consumer base, financial assistance, and mutually beneficial partnerships. Foreign direct investment continued. Some key features are significant resource commitment. It also takes local presence in operations. The company's investment in countries which provide specific advantages and significant risk and uncertainty is involved in foreign direct investment. Collaborative venture strategy is another strategy utilized by FAW through international partnerships, international strategic alliances. It helped overcome substantial risks. They also shared technologies and draw and develop new products together, working collaboratively. Some risks are cultural variation, differences in culture between different countries, possible trade tariffs, government regulatory agencies, possible dependence on the other company collaborating with, and exposure to political differences between the countries. Strategy in international business, a set of actions that business managers use wisely to make the best of their resources to gain competitive advantage. FAW recruited very skilled technicians from all over China. They taught the technicians the knowledge needed to mass produce their autos, which was a smart business strategy. Three important features in international business strategy are efficiency, flexibility, and learning. They gained efficiency through mass production, through teaching the technicians the skills needed to mass produce these automobiles. They were flexible in their business plan and were able to evolve their business model as the customer's needs changed. And they were able to learn through continually teaching technicians and learning from partner firms. Characteristics of international business and traits. International mindset. FAW was interested in globalization through partnerships with other countries. They had a commitment of resources, an annual engine production of 300,000 units. They had a strategic vision. FAW truck was the original plan, which changed to a passenger car strategy, and investment in human assets, recruitment of skilled technicians to help with their overall business.
So there are a lot of potential problems that can occur for any business, especially when they're doing business abroad. It could cause even more potential problems that they would need to worry about. So some that we wanted to touch on were cross-cultural risk, language barriers, ethical issues, country risks, currency risk, and financial management, and ineffective branding. So for cross-cultural risk, cultural misunderstandings while conducting business can put human value at stake. I'm sorry. Different values, expectations, and forms of communication are prominent in different countries. This can hurt sales, deals, and their corporate image. So ways to overcome cross-cultural risk is by acquiring factual and interpretive knowledge about the other culture before conducting business with them, just overall being more educated about their culture. Trying to speak the language will break down a lot of barriers and possible miscommunications. You want to avoid culture bias and overall just develop better cross-cultural skills. So proficiency in cross-cultural risk includes tolerance for ambiguity, perceptiveness, valuing personal relationships, flexibility, and adaptability. So for more potential problems, ethical challenges are prominent in any business. This involves unethical management practices, global sourcing, deceptive marketing, problems with advertising and selling, just being dishonest, defective or harmful products or packaging, bribery, and corruption. So ways to arrive at an ethical decision, it obviously depends on the situation, but first you want to identify the problem, examine the facts, create alternatives, establish a course of action, and then after the action is carried through, you want to evaluate the results and see what has changed. Another risk is, or potential problem, is country risk. So this includes foreign investment laws, controls on operating forms and practices, marketing and distribution laws, laws on income, repatriation, environmental laws, contract laws, internet and e-commerce regulation, and inadequate legal systems. Ways to manage country risk is through proactive environmental scanning, strict adherence to ethical standards, alliance with qualified local partners, and protection through legal contracts. So currency risk, this can be defined as fluctuation in exchange rates. FAW's earnings can be reduced through these exchange rates. The cost of importing parts, specifically automobile parts through production, this can be increased, and the economic conditions in the country they're doing business with can influence FAW's overall income. So financial management, deciding on the capital structure, raising funds for the firm, manage working capital and cash flow, performing capital budgeting, managing currency risk, and managing diversity of international accounting and tax practices. So ineffective branding doesn't sound super serious, but it can actually really harm any company. So poor branding and marketing can cause decreased effectiveness for FAW. It leaves room for a huge disadvantage against competitors who are more well-known throughout the world. It decreases leverage with the retailers, and a big part if FAW is doing business in so many different countries, they want to have recognition in these countries and around the world. So it is important that their branding is successful. So appropriate branding, what is appropriate branding? They want high conspicuous visibility, status symbols such as cars. They want widespread appeal, innovative features that fit everybody's lifestyle, and close identification with a certain country, so in this case, China. So problems that FAW actually does face, well, we researched problems in the past that FAW has come across. What we found was that they have had problems recently with improving and increasing productivity, keeping up with their competition, combating pollution, specifically in China, country risks. I have an example in Serbia, and also cultural risk, which is in China, and I'll explain that more when we get to that. So for productivity problems, the business is constantly needing to improve and keep up. They need to increase their productivity, and they are doing a good job because they are a global leader, and they want to keep up with that. So one way that they are trying to help with their productivity and to stay on top is recently they adopted something called MSC Software Sim Manager. This system helps with automation. It improves management of the simulation processes. It is, and like we said, they are a global leader in producing their vehicles. It's going to improve the quality of the products, and it saves the company more time. It decreases their overall costs, and they need to constantly keep updating this software to stay on top. So that leads into competition. Keeping up with the competition is crucial. Some examples of competitors that we found while doing research on the company was companies such as GM, Daewoo Auto and Technology, Tata Motors Limited, Mahindra and Mahindra, Porsche, etc. In 2003 and 2004, 14.5% of the growth in sales of passenger vehicles they had, but this was the least of all of the competitors when I was researching. So that's not good. So solutions to keeping up with the competition. They did create a new research and development center at their headquarters in China. This enhanced FAW's technological corporation. It increased their capabilities in production, and like I said, it assists with keeping up with competitors basically because they are doing all this research and they are updating their development and production, so staying in the game. Pollution is an issue, not only for this company, it's a major issue in the world, especially in China. There is an increased consumer demand for energy-efficient cars. FAW, I learned in our research that they entered late in the game compared to their competitors, and also gas prices are increasing. So they want to make sure that they're producing vehicles that people are going to want to use. So a solution that they used recently, they produced 4 battery-powered hybrid models. They are taking a whole new focus on environmentally friendly cars, and they hope to occupy 15% of China's new energy market by 2020. Also, more plug-in hybrids are being produced. Volkswagen, like we mentioned before, is increasing their production. The whole company is attempting to comply with 3 consumer wishes, which is emission-free, electric mobility, full range for long-distance driving, so moving on to country risk. In 2008, FAW was interested in privatization of Zastava, which is a local car market. They wanted Serbia to be the base of operation in southeastern Europe. Political instability was prominent in Serbia, and they did plan for the privatization. However, people expected that delays would be made because the government was not stable at that time. So, ways to avoid country risk for FAW. They want to do proactive environmental scanning, strict adherence to ethical standards, alliances with qualified local partners, and protection through legal contracts. So, for cultural risk, the Chinese are becoming more mobile. There is an increased cost of living. There is increased traffic and inflation and a major shift in culture. And this is a bit different because it is a Chinese-based company. But I still wanted to include it because even though it isn't a major risk that's in a different country, it's still a problem involving their own culture that they need to be mindful of as well as in other cultures. So solutions for this cultural risk. FAW and other automobile businesses are growing. There is a large investment in their cars. They need to acquire factual and interpretive knowledge about the other culture, which in this case, specific case that I researched, it was their own. They want to try to speak the language and avoid culture bias and develop cross-cultural skills, like I mentioned earlier when we were talking about country risk.
So for our overall recommendations for FAW, we thought that because they were maintaining a leading position for the last 50 years, that they're clearly doing something well. It's clear that their business strategy is effective and they're able to meet consumer needs and evolve as consumer needs change. They continue to research countries to help avoid country and cultural risks, as well as keep up with the environmental needs.